I'm at 9052 Saxton Drive in Westchester, Ohio, doing a sanitary lateral inspection for the purchase of a home. We're mainly looking for structural issues, but it's anything that would be of concern to the buyer. Our access is the rear center stack in the basement, just to the left of the stationary tub, back in the corner. Based off of the age of the home, this should be either cast iron on the floor once we get through the floor, or it may have been replaced by now. But usually these are cast iron under the floor and then go into clay when it exits the house. But they have replaced the vertical stack with PVC, so we'll see how far out that goes. Look like PVC through here, and I know that some of the stuff in this neighborhood is converted septic, but have to see as we go if that's the case here. I think this is going straight out the front based off of all the connections going in. It does look like there is a floor clean out here. If we need to, we'll stop and get a locate of that. We'll go back. But for reference, it was at about 23 feet. You can see all the buildup in this line is mainly because this is also a sink line, and so sink lines tend to have a bunch of goo in them like that from all the food and grease and stuff that goes through there just on from normal use. And as we push out, a lot of times it kind of clouds the stuff up in front of the camera lens also. This looks like it's PVC still. The line has either been replaced, which is the part that I assume, because it's got clay. It's got copper above the PVC on the stack, and so push through this. This is what I mean about you're kind of plowing stuff up in front of the camera, all the kind of grease and goo build up in the line. Looks like there's another clean out right there above. Now this lens is only about a quarter of an inch, a half an inch off the bottom of the pipe, so this is not a whole lot of water. Pushing this stuff like I just mentioned. Gotta push the stuff out of the way. So it looks like it's just toilet paper that kind of held the water a little bit. But it looks like it just needs a few flushes to flush that out. But it looks like there's a clean out right here at about 80 feet, 82 feet also. Get out to the main, I'm going to run some water through here, and hopefully we can flush all this out. But the good and surprising thing is it looks like every bit of this line has been replaced with PVC. Another turn, possibly where it's going to wind into the the main, but there's another, looks like another clean out there. Now, I'm not sure where this thing is going, but I have to be getting close to the main at this point. Turn the water on here in the stationary tub. See if we can get a little bit of help pushing out. I'm going to try to continue pushing, but I really only have about 10 to 15 feet more stick here, so I may end up having to make a move when it does outside cleanouts to inspect the remainder of the line. Very surprising based off of the turns and everything encountered that I'm not at the main yet. So this may be converted septic and go out the back and around, but that would mean that the original, because it does look like there is an old hole in the back wall where the line used to go out. It would probably connect to a septic tank. So the line may still go out the back, it just goes out under the floor, and which means it's pretty deep, which means it would still go all the way around the outside of the house. And so obviously the line would be a lot longer in that situation. But we're getting very close to running out of stick here, so usually it's changing material like this to it looks like an ABS, a black PVC. Would mean we just left the property, so we're probably still a few feet from the main. So it looks like I probably will have to make a move, because that's all the reel I have is about 150 feet. So everything has looked wonderful so far. Like I mentioned, everything is PVC, which is a good surprise. But I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to check to see where I am and where the best access point is going to be to complete the inspection. Okay, I'm gonna pull back a little bit. I don't see any visible cleanouts out there, but we're gonna pull back to the point where we can see where the cleanout is. But I know exactly where I am. I'm almost at the street, in the yard. You can see where it went from. The white PVC over that. And usually when you get into that black plastic, that just means that's where the municipality will take over responsibility. That's why the material changed, because that's what they had used for the lateral under the road and sewer main. So the good news is that everything looked really good up to that point. So there was no issues from the stack out to this point. So now we're just looking for the areas for the clean out here. I think it was somewhere around 120 when we saw that clean out. So got all this water running. Hopefully I can still see. Should be able to see it. I believe that was it right there. Okay, this would be the best bet. If I can find this clean out here, obviously it would be the shortest distance to the main. So I'm going to pause the video again here. We're going to locate it and then see if I can poke around and find a clean out close to the surface. Hopefully it goes quick because it's raining pretty good out there. Alright, so we have, I did uncover the clean out. I dug it up and opened it, and so now we have to pull back. So the inspection point, when we come back and we move, it'll be from this point on out to the main. So obviously you'll see the white turn to black pipe as we pull. The good news is that the line looks really good all the way to that point. So for a line this age, especially, being that it has been that it was all put in PVC, it's very good news for the buyer because the line looks really good. No root intrusion, all the connections look good. Didn't really see any low spots or bellies. Like, everything looked really good. So as we pull back, we're obviously still looking for things, but we should have under 50 feet to go when we make a move to that other clean out. Like I said, we weren't quite to that point. Let's see, this is a spot with a bunch of toilet paper right underneath another clean out, and so it needs a. I'm actually going to sit here for a second. We're going to flush, because all the water is escaping. So I'm going to flush the toilet down here in the basement to see what that does as it goes around, because it's a lot of pipe to get out to that point. Okay, so flush the toilet. It could take a while before it gets to that point. We want to see if it'll flush out that, make a move on that stuff, because the water's escaping, so it's got good pitch on it. Just wondering what that chunk of stuff is. So we'll witness it, and hopefully the water will not just go around it, it'll actually take it. Yep, see, it's just going around it. It needs a, there we go. It's just toilet paper, but it may be a wet wipe. And that's one of the big things that you don't want to see is, don't ever want to use wet wipes no matter what the material is. They say flushable, but they are not. And so it's a little frustrating because this is what happens if they get stuck. They sit still. I actually think that, I think we got it moved. Yep, it just needs to be, it actually, what it really needs is somebody to take a shower or something that'll flush this out of there. But that looks like a wet wipe or something. Doesn't look like a normal thing that should be in the line. Doesn't look like it's being held up by anything, it just needs a little bit more flow. Needs a laundry, because it doesn't look like a normal. Looks like something got dislodged. I can't really even tell what that is. But at any rate, it's not causing any problem. There's nothing wrong structurally with the line. It just needs, when you do a load of laundry or next time somebody takes a shower, that'll be enough water to flush that out. But see with the way the water is escaping, there's no low spots or anything. And so that one spot just needs a good shower or laundry to flush that spot out. But the way the water is escaping, like I mentioned, there's no low spot or anything in that area. There's nothing structurally wrong. It's just a big chunk of something that needs to get flushed out. But overall, the line looks really, really good, actually. Like I mentioned before, it's a little surprising that they ran PVC all the way out. I don't know when they put the main down the street, but it may have been as late as the 80s or 90s when they ran this based off of the PVC. And so the good news is, obviously, is that it is PVC all the way out, and the line looks wonderful. Didn't see any issues at all so far. So what we're going to do is, again, I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to make a move. Take all the have to take the camera and monitor outside and go in through the outside clean out, which I will leave uncovered. I will put a green flag next to it most likely. It should be pretty obvious what it is, but just so you know what it is, and maybe it might be a good idea to mark it if you're gonna cover it, because it is about 6 inches below the level of the grass, and so I would suggest, you know, a lawn ornament or something. That might look a little weird where it is, but just something to mark it so that you know where that access point is in case it's ever needed. So again, I'm going to pause the video and make a move out there. Okay, we are outside now. What you're hearing is I have an umbrella over the monitor. And so because of that, you're going to hear that beating on the water hitting the top of the umbrella. And so we are going in from this clean out. So show it to you here. There is the street, and I'm going to take this the rest of the way out into the main. Okay. And of course it wants to go backwards for some reason. Okay. We are going downstream. Like I said, you'll see he is running some water in there, so hopefully we get out, once we get out to that black pipe, the ABS PVC. Well, it's ABS plastic. Then that water level stays on up here. You can see that. Man, what happened to tell him to go stop the water? Because of course it's going to do this because it's running water. And this is off property, so none of this is even on the it's even the responsibility of the homeowner. But you can see the top of the line. It's just frustrating because the camera lens is only like a ½ inch, and as long as he's running water, it's probably going to build up that way. We'll go all the way out. And here we are. Another 80 feet, dropping straight down into the sewer main. I can be able to see because the camera's vertical. But this is the sewer main, and so hopefully we'll be able to pull back and be able to see better on the pullback than when we went out, since we're not pushing through the water. But of course, road. I should have told him not to run water. So we'll have to now look at like 72 feet. See the flashing of the line, and so it's not very
high. So we're going to have to look. So 72 feet. See it hitting the ledge here. It's about 45 to 70, about 25 feet that we have to re-inspect here. So I am going to actually just pull the camera back and put a standoff on it just to be sure that the water level isn't high. So now I got to pull the camera all the way back out, put a standoff on it, and then go back through. So, but we're running a lot of water through this, so okay, I'm going to pause the video and go get the other attachment and ask him to stop running water. Okay, so I'm going to turn the water off. It's going to probably take a little bit longer for it to drain down, but go back through here, and hopefully as we go back through it'll make it nice and easy for it to go downstream here. Still some water flowing through. ABS pipe. You still have that water running. You can see the water level. I mean, it's a half an inch of water, which is frustrating. Can't get it there. So this is not a defect. Obviously, the water level is not high enough, but you can see the top of it above the camera. Probably about an inch of water at the lowest, and it is off the property. And so I'm hoping that the line will settle down a little bit here as we sit. Sometimes with minimum pitch it takes a while for the water to recede. So basically there's a belly. There's a very small belly. No solid buildup, no issue at all. It's plastic. It's just basically, I'm going to have to note that there is, you can see how it flashes. We saw on the way out. It's just under the road where it sank when they put it in. And it just sank enough to where it's too deep for my camera lens. And I almost feel like there's still a bunch of water going through it or something. Because so 40 to 74 feet, there is a 1-inch belly, which is nothing to worry about. It's not going to cause any issues for the line, for flow, but it just, prevented me from being able to see the top of the pipe in that area. So it will be marked on the report, but it's not, it doesn't have, there is no issue as far as the functionality of the line, but we're going to roughly say 40 to 70 feet. There is a 1-inch belly in the line, which is minor and not causing any obstructions. But the rest of the line looked absolutely wonderful with no issue at all. Basically what happened is they put the line under the road, they backfilled, it sunk an inch when they put it in, and it's been that way ever since. Happens a lot. Just with PVC is really, you know, it's not rough or whatever, so it doesn't really cause any issues. There's nothing for it to catch on. The line's not leaking or anything like that. Just a small low spot that, in all honesty, is barely worth mentioning. But it'll still be on the report with the caveat that it's not causing any obstructions or issues. So, line looked great. Like I said, the only thing of note is that about 30 feet of a 1-inch belly under the road. So if this ever does become an issue, like I said, I think this has been there since the line was put in. But if there ever is an issue out there, it would not be on the homeowner, it's under the road, so that would be on the municipality. Whoever the sewer district is in this area, I believe we're just outside of MSD, so probably either the township or the county. I'm not sure who runs this sewer system in through here. But either way, it's under the road. It's not the responsibility of the homeowner. Will be noted on the report as a belly that is not causing any obstructions or holding any solids. So, but other than that, line looks great. Should be fully functional for years to come. So, as long as you don't flush anything you're not supposed to down there, that is. So that's going to end the inspection at 9052 Saxton Drive in Westchester Township, Ohio.